Hello, my name is Lauren Arndt. I am a high school biology teacher at Canal Winchester High School, and today I'd just like to share with you a tool that you could use to teach reading content in your area in biology. I know biology can sometimes be tough. You think, how in the world would I ever incorporate reading into science? But actually, there's a lot of great text out there that can definitely help in our field if we know how to use it in the correct way and we know how to get students interested in it. So, in my opinion, collaboration is a great way to help students learn genetic disorder and be able to use the think, rethink, reread, and reexamine exercise effectively, as well as grasp the main points of the specific human genetic disorders to 90% accuracy. So, just to give you a little bit more of an in-depth look, I won't go through my entire lesson plan, but I just want to say, before I go into that, listen up. You are more than welcome to use this lesson plan. I put hard work into it, and you should totally use it because you never know, I might use one of yours. So right here, some of the academic language for this, genetic disorder, and then we go into some of the specific types of genetic disorders. So we have cystic fibrosis, sickle cell disease, hemophilia, Down syndrome, etc., etc., and it goes on. And throughout this lesson, first of all, I start the lesson off with students reviewing what we went over yesterday, just so they can kind of get their mind back in the science framing, thinking type of mind. Then I go on to assigning groups, each a section of the genetic disorders. So, for instance, one group will have an introduction section, and they'll be required to use the think, rethink, reread, and reexamine tool in order to understand this better. And then we get into the different types of diseases that I just mentioned before, and they will also use this concept in order to gain a greater understanding for this. Then, after they have mastered the concept, they will be required to just make a small poster board so they can present it to the class. So I can be sure to know that they understood what they were learning, and I don't have to give them a big long test on it. Sometimes I think testing it's overrated. So I just think that would definitely be a great thing to use. So back to the reading, rereading, etc. This is like a blow up of what, man, this is so hard to get in focus, of what the sheet would look like. Each student would be required to fill one of these out on their own. The first section over here, this is about career development. It was just one that I found online. I think career development is. So then students would be required to write down exactly what they think career development is after they've read this section one time. Then they're going to discuss it with the groups that we put them in. And they're going to say, my thoughts about career development after discussion are, and write this down. So then after that, we move down to this box right here, this little arrow. This indicates a rereading time. So the students are required to reread the section that they're given, and it's not super long, so it's something that they could do very easily. Finally, there's the reexamine section. So now that we've talked about it and reexamined and reread everything, what are they thinking now? So it can show the process. And it can also show the student, wow, I mean, I started thinking this, but now I'm to this complicated, crazy understanding of this subject. And that's just something awesome. And it's on paper. It's something that they can keep forever. So, on to more about this. I was curious. I was asking around. I said, okay, so let me talk to some other teachers and see what they would do. So I asked them, how would you use this strategy in your classroom? And this is what I got. So I talked to a history teacher, and they said sometimes they like to have students read certain parts of the Declaration of Independence, which I thought was very interesting. I was like, wow, I mean, I never remember doing that in high school, but go get them. So they said that they could use this the think, rethink, reread, and reexamine strategy to break up certain parts of the Declaration of Independence. Have students read it by themselves, discuss it, think it, reexamine it, until they have a hard understanding of exactly what that Declaration of Independence is saying. I also talked to a Spanish teacher. Interpreting foreign languages can always be tricky. I know I struggled with that in high school greatly. So that's something I think it's awesome because first off, they're going to get a phrase. The student's going to say, okay, this is what I think it is. So then they're going to discuss it with their group. Okay, the group comes to an understanding. I think that word might be off. I don't know. So then they're going to go back, reread it, and then they're going to know exactly what that was saying. They can talk to the entire class. They're going to know what that sentence said because 25 brains are a lot better than one. And this is a very organized and easy way to make that happen. And then language arts reading teacher, Shakespeare. That type of novel was always so hard for me. And just reading a hard part of a specific novel is something that needs to be broken down, and this would be a great exercise for that. So I guess I have a couple questions for you that I'd like you to maybe leave in the comments, answer below, maybe just get a discussion going. So do you think that this would be an effective strategy in your classroom? Do you think this is something that you could use, or what? And then another question is, is there any way that you can think of that you could tweak this to make it a little bit better, to make it more conducive for your specific subject, for maybe even my specific subject? Maybe there's something you can think of that I'm not hitting right on the nose that you could help me out with. So I have actually attached this to the bottom. Here's the setup if you want to use it in your classroom. It's really easy. You can just like white out what they have on here, and you can totally use that. And please, 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 once again, I cannot reinforce enough. Please feel free to use my lesson plan. If it's something that can help you, please use it. It's like 6 pages. It's 7 pages. So there's got to be something in here you can use, right? And then please feel free to respond to me if you have any questions. I've really enjoyed making this video, and I hope it can help one person out. If it helps one person out, that's awesome. And if you share it with someone else and it helps 2 people out, that's even better. So thank you so much for listening. I look forward to learning some from you all when you comment and I follow you onto your page. So again, thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye!